Greetings everyone, my name is Zephydel, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. During the last part, I covered 4 Virus-made levels. So in this part, I'll be covering at least 4 or 5 more Virus-made levels, starting out with this one, 3 Ring Trials by Panta35, with 13 plays and a score of 2. As always, if you want one of your levels to be featured in a future part like this one, please leave both the level name and level ID either in the comment section below or direct message me on Twitter. Also, as always, the full disclaimer this entire LP series is linked in the description below. Also in the description are the timestamps for all the levels that I cover in these parts, so if you want to check for levels covered, expand the description. So according to the level author, this level's overall length is rather short, but there are 3 different pathways we can go through depending on what character we play as. Or rather, each character has a different feel throughout this stage, and we do gain different special weapons depending on what character we play as. Plus, during several parts of the route we can swap to other special characters. Plus, during certain parts of the route we can swap over to one of the other characters. So I see we're starting out the stage in some cramped quarters with enemy spam. And I completed the first route, or rather the first route split. So here I gained access to the Hyper Bomb. I'll be playing through the stage a total of 3 times, first as Mega Man, then as Protoman, then as Bass. Now, because I have access to the Hyper Bomb, it should make several of these segments a lot easier. This was definitely easier than the first segment. I wish I had access to Hyper Bomb for the first section. That would have been super helpful. And now we immediately fight Ring Man over here. A very short stage. I mean, we only had 2 sections and the first section was rather easy. But of course we have a fight against Ring Man, so it's gonna be super punishing in that regard. Especially considering when Ring Man decides to pull back his rings. And we don't have access to any E-tanks, so we gotta rely on our Mega Buster as well as the Shine. This isn't too bad actually, if I can keep deflecting his rings back at him. So that was the end of the totally Mega Man route of 3 Rings Trials. Now I understand why it's called 3 Ring Trials. We have 3 different sections. The first 2 are dedicated to different enemy rooms, and the final challenge is the fight against Ring Man. So let's see how the Protoman route goes. Here we have access to the Proto Strike, good. And Protoman does not take double damage here, wonderful. That makes this segment a lot easier, combined with the fact that Protoman has an infinite charge shot. I was wrong. Playing as different characters allows you to access slightly different routes. And here we gain access to the Ice Slasher. Would have preferred it at the beginning of this section though. And we're back over here to this checkpoint. There's always a checkpoint at the beginning of each trial. Time slow would have been super helpful to have during that boss fight as well. But of course, I completed this route, so time to check out Base's route. Depending on what character you play as, the boss fight against Ringman will be easier or more difficult. For that route, it was just best to skip past most of those enemies anyway. That was a bit of a close jump over there. If I were to compare the three different routes, Mega Man's would easily be the hardest, Protoman was the easiest route, and Base was the medium difficulty. Because Mega Man didn't have access to a charge shot, it made several of the segments, especially the first section, the most difficult. Let me test out and see if the water wave is Ringman's weakness, then I'll exit out of the level. Okay, it's actually his weakness. That makes this fight a lot easier. Overall, I think this was kind of a mess stage. If the stage's length was increased by double, I'd give this a better recommendation, but as it stands right now, it's just too simple and forgettable. Second level on the lineup is Boulder Man by Jimmy Juicer, with 30 plays and a score of 8. In comparison with the previous Fortress/Gimmick level, this one I believe will be a traditional level. And it's gonna be a quarry-oriented stage, or rather a stage taking place in a rock mine. Is that intended there? Is that intended that the flyboys just fall right through the platform? I think it's a glitch. Nice introduction to these minecart enemies. As well as the Thunderals. As well as the footholders. First in a safe environment where there's no way you can actually get killed by it, and you're forced to actually jump on top of it in order to progress onwards to the right. And here it's placed over a bottomless pit, so nice challenge progression. First introducing gimmicks in an isolated safe environment, and now putting them in more dangerous situations. I'm getting the feeling that Jimmy Juicer intended that to happen. Is this an alternate route, or does this lead to some extra goodies? Nope, it just leads to some extra goodies. Good checkpoint placement. There's me failing to do a slide jump. It seems that for most of these minecart enemies, it's best to jump over them. And now we're introducing the Shadow Man platforms in safe environments. And now over bottomless pits. Also nice introduction to the Harry Harrys, aka the Hedgehogs, because up there's no chance of them being able to hit you. And now down over here there's a great chance for them to hit you, so nice escalation in difficulty. Already I rate this stage at least a 6 out of 10. That was a close one over there. I see we're combining usage of the Shadow Man platforms and footholders here. Still got hit by a stray bullet. That one met over there is really dangerous. I'm really surprised I didn't die over there, even though there were 3 close calls over there. Nah, I won't go for it, it's too risky. I already had enough close calls in this stage. Another good checkpoint placement. And the stage has a steady difficulty curve. Oh yeah, hitboxes. And on this screen I see we're being introduced to the green footholders. I still got nicked by that green foothold over there. I wish I had rushed it for this segment. And I believe that was the last section before I would fight the boss. So this stage is quickly getting more difficult near the end, mainly due to all the flip platform jumps. I made it. After 7 deaths off screen, I made it to this screen. That last jump over there is super precise, that's why I kept dying. That last section of the stage really felt like a difficulty spike, and honestly, I would have preferred if half the challenge was moved over to an optional segment for the ERM tank, or for an optional weapon capsule. That really felt like a hard difficulty spike, and kinda broke the stage progression. Oh sure, it combined usage of all the gimmicks, the harder version, the footholders, the flipping platforms, aka the Shadow Man platforms, the flip tops, as well as metals and the tonderals. But the combination challenges over there really made this end part of the stage a lot more difficult than it should have been. At least that's what I think. Still, I'll give this stage a thumbs up. Overall, checkpoint placement was good, difficulty progression up until the end was also pretty good, nice escalation of challenges and introduction of gimmicks. Third level on the lineup is Cutman Remix by GW9, with 17 plays and a score of 5. So this is going to be a remix of Cutman's stage, but I see we're using a different background, but we're still using the same foreground tileset though. And I see we replaced the bladers with the ambos, though honestly, the ambos are a lot easier to deal with in comparison with the bladers. That gap on the right looks rather suspicious. Okay, there's an invisible ceiling up over there. And I was right, this actually leads over to a capsule for the hyper bomb. Good checkpoint placement. In fact, I'll do a quick reset here just to be safe. I don't recall this section being in the original Cutman stage, so I see the stage is adding some new elements in, mixing in the old with the new. And having access to the hyper bomb here makes this segment a lot easier, especially with some of the angles. That was a close one over there. I didn't want to take any chances with that jump over there. Yeah, I remember this room, although it was a bit different. At least the octopus batteries / Susies here only take 5 hits to destroy. In the original game they took up to 8 hits. Grabbing onto that ladder on the top left is going to be the other challenge. Okay, I did it on my second attempt. Thank you for putting a checkpoint right over here. You know what, I want to double check what's on the left there. And there is actually something here, an E-tank, which I'll gladly take. And do a quick reset to refill my health and quickly get back over here. And I see we're introduced to these chainsaw Gabios here. The ones from Mega Man 4. The ones that you can't just stop in place by shooting at them. But you can destroy them with a hyper bomb though. That's really helpful. Already this stage is more difficult than the original Cutman stage, and at least 10 to 15 screens longer too. Another good checkpoint placement. I guess this is the final stretch of the stage, seeing that we're combining use of the chainsaw gabules as well as the ambos. And the octopus batteries as well. I'm just gonna jump in over here, ignore the large life energy, and just do a quick reset over here. Time to face Cutman. Nope, his weakness is actually nothing. Well, okay then. Well, I have access to an E-tank, so I might as well burn it here. So that was the end of Cutman Remix. A surprisingly more difficult version of Cutman stage. And I say surprisingly because I didn't expect the stage to get that hard around the center. I liked it sure, but it was kinda bleh if you ask me. Kinda simplistic, but I suppose it fit with Mega Man 1 design aesthetics. Fourth on the lineup is Mega Final Fight by Zephydel, with 37 plays and a score of 12. Another Cutman battle I see? Never mind. For this stage, our only means of attacking is the shine, and we cannot slide whatsoever. Really, I have nothing more to say about the stage until I get to the boss fight. It's just basically deflecting all the enemy projectiles back at them. Okay, here he fights Cutman. Just need to be careful so that Cutman doesn't just run into me. I've soft-locked Cutman into an infinite loop. Overall, this was kind of a repetitive stage. I wish it did something more with its gimmick, but it was just a series of rooms with different enemies, and the same sets of enemies repeated over and over, so I cannot give this stage a thumbs up. It's just so bland and repetitive. Fifth on the lineup is Weapon Capsule Relay Protoman Edition by YouTube Social HD2, with 8 plays and a score of 1. So I presume this is going to be another one of those simple weapon relay stages. Well, this is different. Usually in these stages by YouTube Social HD2, every screen is dedicated to a different special weapon. But we already had 3 screens dedicated to the Protobuster, so glad to see that was changed. Although playing as Protoman here isn't the best fit because, well, if he didn't have access to the Protobuster or rather the Alpha Strike, it'd be fine. But because he has access to it, it outclasses most special weapons. Now onto the Rolling Cutter. Glad to see that every special weapons have at least 3 to 4 screens to shine. I just wish there was more platforming-based challenges that force you to utilize these special weapons, not just enemy-based challenges like here. Now onto the Ice Slasher. Pretty simple, but in comparison to what happened before, I do like the addition of the fact that every special weapon has at least 3 to 4 screens to shine instead of just 1 screen like in the previous levels in this series. In the future, I'd like to see some platforming challenges dedicated to each of the special weapons, not just enemy-based challenges like here. So 6th and final level of the part is Smiley Emoticon by Awaggking with 40 plays and a score of -1. So it seems that it's going to be a shorter stage. Oh, I see. There's probably an invisible series of spikes on the left, or rather a hole in an invisible series of spikes on the left. But I need to damage boost through it. That's not what I meant to do there. Nope, okay. I'll need to use the NATO then. And yet somehow I deflected it there because I switched direction for a split second. Never mind, it wasn't just me. Okay, that's where I need to go. Well, that was a rather simple troll level. I just need a damage boost using the metal, and then use the NATO in order to find the hole on the left. Honestly, I played better troll levels in the past, just as this way too simple and boring. So overall, out of the 6 levels I played in this part, my favorite level would definitely be Boulder Man by Jimmy Juicer. So in the next part, I'll be covering several more viewer-submitted levels. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!